Shalom, Kal Halal, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kakadash. Double honors to the elder apostles and elder bishops of GMS, including the elders that came before them that taught us the truth. Shalom and salutations to all the brothers out pushing the word of truth and in sincerity, the hopeful elect tabernacle of David. To the Aquat that are listening and learning, being a pillar of rest. The 144,000, the 1/3, the hopeful elect. I'm the brother Yeshua. I'm back with the WW3 Daily Update. We're going to make this real quick. More of the same, but faster and faster. Okay? Things are going to speed up. Why? Because there's less time in the day. Days are just flying by. Be better off to look at things in terms of weeks. Oh, this week lasted what used to be a day. Matthew 24 and 22. And except those days should be shortened, we're in the short days. There should no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. What day? These days. Okay? We're in the time of short days. Let's let Dina tell it. All right? Dina Amelia Calmetta, 22 hours ago. U.S. sends second warship. Arab nations warned not to join war. Warship, war. Israel moving to full offensive in Gaza. Here we are. If this ain't World War III, go back to sleep. Take it away, Dina. Listen to what she says.
Welcome back to the show, everyone. It's Dina Calmetta here. And for today's news, we're going to focus on Israel, and I wanted to bring you the latest headlines. And it's changing literally from minute to minute.
Literally from minute to minute because the days are short. So hear her say that again.
Changing literally from minute to minute. First off, Israel has faced rocket attacks from both the Gaza Strip and Lebanon. Incoming rocket sirens are again sounding in the western Galilee and southern coastal cities as Israel faces the rocket attacks from the Gaza Strip and Lebanon. The Health Ministry and the Israel Defense Forces Home Front Command orders Rambam Healthcare Campus in Haifa to be prepared for the event of an outbreak of war in the north of Israel. So they're preparing for something big coming from the north. In regards to Lebanon, there were a total of 12 rockets fired from Lebanon into Israel. Residents near the border fence in the north are called to enter protected areas immediately. The IDF has announced massive strikes on Gaza terror nest and stated that it killed 2 top Hamas men. The IDF forces says it's carrying out a new wave of airstrikes in the Gaza Strip and is hitting targets belonging to the Hamas terror group along Gaza's coastline. The Italian PM has warned of Hamas-like attacks against Italian Jews. The Italian Prime Minister says her country needs to intensify the protection of Italian Jews because there is a risk of criminal acts against them in imitation of what we have seen at the hands of Hamas. Here is another interesting report. The UAE has warned Syria's Assad not to get involved in the Hamas-Israeli
United Arab Emirates.
The United Arab Emirates has warned the Assad regime in Syria not to intervene or to allow attacks on Israel from Syrian soil. Well, why does it matter? Well, several countries, including the U.S., are highly concerned that the war could spill over to Lebanon, which we are seeing right now, or Syria and escalate to a regional conflict. Sounds a lot like Psalm 83. But it goes on to report that this is not a moment for any party hostile to Israel to exploit these attacks to seek advantage. This is coming from the leaders of France, Germany, Italy, the United Kingdom, and the U.S. So definitely a very interesting report here because we also have to remember the prophecy in Isaiah 17:1 where God says that Damascus will become a ruinous heap. Now, speaking of this war escalating, we have a close ally of Putin who is ready to join the war against Israel. The Chechen leader, a longtime ally of Putin, has declared his support for the Palestinian people in light of the recent escalation. In a post to his Telegram channel on Monday, he pleaded to the international community, calling for a peaceful solution to the conflict, and said that his republic is prepared to provide its own units as peacekeeping forces in the event that they are needed. He said, "We support Palestine, and we are against this war, which, unlike other conflicts, can develop into something more."
Can you see right now the countries are choosing sides? In what? In World War III. We support Palestine.
Have been to Israel, and our peaceful delegation experienced first-hand attempts at overt provocation. Therefore, I call for a stop to both the war and any form of escalation of the situation. If necessary, our units are ready to act as peacekeeping forces to restore order and counter any troublemakers.
Ooh.
Now, Russian officials have yet to pick a side in the conflict, although speculations arose online that Moscow could have had a role in Hamas's attack, which...
Wait a minute. What about that cyber attack the other day? Whose side are they on? Was that not Russia that did the cyber attack in Israel?
Israeli intelligence by surprise. While officials say there is no concrete evidence that the Kremlin assisted or trained Hamas fighters, Russia's close ally Iran has long funded the militant organization. Now, of course, this is just going to add salt into the wound between the relationship between Russia and Israel. That's only if this report is true. But eventually we know from Ezekiel chapters 38 and 39 that Russia will eventually, with Turkey and Iran and other nations, try to invade Israel. And of course we know from prophecy that they will fail miserably. But definitely a very interesting report here in regards to Putin's ally. Now here's another very interesting report. The leader of the Yemeni Islah Rullah movement said that his people are ready to act with hundreds of thousands to join the Palestinian people to face the enemy, and that they will not hesitate to do everything possible. He said that we are in complete harmony with the axis of resistance, and if the Americans intervene directly militarily, we are even ready to carry out missile and drone operations. So here we go. Somebody else threatening Israel and also the United States.
Sounds like World War III. People are choosing sides.
Now, with that said, here's another report. The Defense Minister Gallant says that Israel is moving to a full offense against the Gaza Strip. He says, "I have released all the restraints. We have regained control of the area, and we are moving to a full offense. You will have the ability to change the reality here. You have seen the prices being paid, and you will get to see the change. Hamas wanted a change in Gaza. It will change 180 degrees from what it thought. They will regret this moment. Gaza will never return to what it was. Whoever comes to decapitate, murder women, Holocaust survivors, we will eliminate you with all of our might without compromise." In the meantime, in another report, the Turkish President Erdogan accused the United States of planning to carry out massacres in Gaza by sending its aircraft carrier to Israel. But he fails to mention the massacres that have already occurred in Israel to innocent civilians. Now, with that said, as of right now, Israeli death toll has topped 1,000 according to officials, with over 800 Palestinians reported dead. Deaths on both sides have risen past 1,600. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said that Israel's military response to the invasion would have ripple effects for generations. He said that we are only starting striking Hamas. As I stated earlier, Hamas has threatened to start executing captured Israelis if strikes targeted civilians without warning. Israel said that Hamas is holding more than 150 soldiers and civilians hostage in Gaza. Death tolls for both sides, unfortunately, are expected to grow as the war rages. Here is another report. The Joint Chief of Staff Chairman, General Charles Q. Brown Jr., warned Iran not to get involved in the conflict between Israel and Hamas. Yeah, sure, like they're not already involved. The top U.S. general made the remark on Monday. He stated that we want to send a pretty strong message. We do not want this to broaden, and the idea is for Iran to get that message loud and clear. A Hamas spokesperson told the BBC that they had Iran support for the attacks. In another bombshell Wall Street Journal report on Sunday also said that Hamas and Hezbollah helped Iran plan the attack. In the meantime, End Time Headlines is reporting that Palestinian sources report the Tufan long-range rockets have been put into service for the first time. Hamas will now be launching these rockets towards Israel. Sky News is reporting that the Pentagon does not rule out a special operation to rescue American citizens in Gaza. The Saudi crown prince continues to stand by the Palestinian people. Now, here's another report from the Wall Street Journal. Apparently, the United States may deploy a second aircraft carrier near Israel, according to U.S. defense officials. They also said that an escalation of the U.S. military effort is to deter regional powers from joining the war between Hamas and Israel.
Crazy. We'll stop it right there. Uh, Here's the thing. Rupert Murdoch. Who owns the news? Okay. Whatever we're hearing, right? This is largely Israel, pro-Israel news. Okay. But there are two sides. Okay. The other side we're not hearing. We're hearing the pro-Israel side, and that's all we're going to hear in America. We're not going to hear the pro-Palestine side. Okay? So what does that mean? Is all of this true? Of course not. All right? Not when the devil is in the details. Who's the biggest liar and murderer on the face of the earth? Esau. Starting with the Amalekites. So you can't take anything that they say literally. Okay? Where are we at with this? We're right here. Matthew 24 and 6. And you shall hear of wars and rumors of war. Okay? That's all. Okay? Whoever wins the war, you get to say what actually happened and what didn't actually happen. You shall hear of wars and rumors of war. See that you be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. We still got some war to go through, right? Anyway, we'll end it right there. Stay open-minded. It's a long, protracted expanse of death and destruction is coming. All right. With that, we hope the elect ratify you brothers and few sisters with that shalom.